When I saw the trailer for the first time, it was the first time like I watched it when everybody else watched it, and I was just like, wow. And action is not my personal genre. Like I'm not big on action films in general. But when I watched this, I was like, it looks cool, and it looks slick.
Then I kind of am not interested in something like that. But if I feel something's fresh. The story has depth. It has it has a journey. It has gravity. At the same time, it is entertaining.
Right.
It is pushing the bar to some extent.
Hi everyone, this is Malavika Mohanan.
Hey guys, hi, this is Siddhant Chaturvedi and you're watching me on IWMBuzz.
Hi everyone, this is Yudhra. You're watching me on IWMBuzz, and with me are two people who have already rocked and rolled in the trailer that we've seen. Just constant madness and action, and I think this conversation is going to be pretty much on the same lines. Hi, Siddhant Chaturvedi and Malavika Mohanan. Thank you for being with me.
Thank you so much.
Hi. So, I mean, I have to start a little heavy because I think, it's something that I've sort of observed with the both of you and your career trajectory so far. You'll have these bursts when you have back-to-back projects coming up, or being announced at least at the same time, and then there are like these blank periods when sometimes things don't really work out, and you wait for a while. Both of you are going through a very similar phase. You have back-to-back films coming up now. You have several films coming up now. My question is that how does that play a role in your, you think with audience's perception towards you? Or is it more like, okay, social media hai, to wo bhi presence chalta rehta hai and everything?
Wow, it's a very deep question.
Exactly.
Because aisa hua hai na?
Yeah.
Exactly. Like there were times when there was nothing happening, and then there are times you're just back to back, like just shooting like mad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's and that's also got a lot to do with sometimes we are working continuously also, but nothing's coming out because we are not really in control of like what releases when, right? All we can do as actors is go do our thing, and then the release date or everything else, the distributors, producers, they have to figure the rest. So what comes out sometimes comes out after a year or a year and a half, and you're not really in control of that. But I don't really care so much about what people think. It's more so it's nice to constantly be creatively stimulated. It's nice to work from that perspective. We're artists. We want to, you're hungry to like do more, work with good people, get better and better, climb up the ladder artistically more than anything else. And do you want your work to be acknowledged? Of course, yes. But it's more of that when you don't have that, when you don't have an interesting script and you're at home for a few months, that's the fact that starts getting to me, that it's nothing stimulating me, nothing's exciting me. It feels boring. It feels that irritates me more than anything else.
And on similar lines, do you believe social media does play a key role in that particular sense in terms of having that consistent presence that okay, I'm there, I'm not really gone completely out of focus, so to speak?
I don't know. I feel like the moment you have a film coming out, you're going to be going all out, talking about it, and there are like speaking for myself, just to give you an example, I just finished promotions for a film which released, which did really well. It made almost like 100 crores already. I have like a couple I'm working on. I'm promoting for Yudhra. So the moment there are things to talk about, you're going out and talking about things, and people, there's something to talk about instead of just meaningless PR. So this is more purposeful PR.
Correct.
But I know what you mean as well. It's important to be seen. Visibility is a big part of showbiz.
Exactly.
But it's all like so much of it is not in our hands. I'm just grateful to be having what I have right now and talking about it. I guess life's good in the present.
Absolutely, absolutely. Siddhant, for you, again, talking about grassroots, okay, because that's the kind of first questions that you think that audience might have in their mind, and that is that when you see an action extravaganza, when there's so much happening, people have seen the trailer, loved it, not liked it, whatever. People have their perception to it. The thing is that how do you make sure as artist, once your product is out there, at least in terms of a trailer and everything, that jo audience ye na lage ki yaar, I'm seeing just another action film with flashy stuff. So because that there is some pound stuff in the script, but how do you make sure that that sort of translates as much as possible before they go to see the film?
Well, see, the thing is, I always try to get something new. I would feel I'm always choosing things which are different, and in that process, I anyway kind of my that's my filter basically. If I can see like stereotypes, if I can see cliches, if I see, यार ये मैंने देखा, मैंने खुद, because I've been an audience, right?
Correct.
So as me as an audience, if I feel like यार ये बहुत बार हो गया है, then I kind of am not interested in something like that. But if I feel something's fresh, you know, the story has depth, it has kind of, it has a journey, it has gravity. At the same time, it is entertaining.
Right.
You know, it is pushing the bar to some extent. Not so much that it goes beyond, you know. So, that's what my thing is. You know, that's not a choosing formula as such, but I always try to get something which is fresh. That's what I want to portray also. Like, oh, that's what I want to kind of come as with whatever film I'm doing. That people know that okay, he's doing something different from what we had watched, or this is not what we expected from this film or from him. You know, so I try to stay away from the usual stuff.
And if I may add to that, like,
Please.
because all the scenes we did together, it's a completely different space, right? Because my character Nikhat is a part of his life in a very different capacity. So as an audience, when I saw the trailer for the first time, it was the first time like I watched it when everybody else watched
Right.
it, and I was just like, wow. And action is not my personal genre. Like
Right.
I'm not big on action films in general. But when I watched this, I was like, it looks cool,
Yeah.
and it looks slick. You know, so I was like, this is quite different from everything else we've been seeing, and that was like an immediate hook, even for me. So I hope people feel the same way as well, you know, and go watch our film.
Super. And another question for you is that, you know, you took a while, you know, so to speak, to come to the Hindi belt. You've already had 10 films in, you know, down south. One obviously Beyond the Clouds being in Hindi language as well. But, you know, on a very lighter note, what I want to know is that you must have had some crazy script offers over the years in terms of Hindi belt. Without naming anything, which was the most, you know, bizarre thing that, you know, stood out, that why am I even being offered with this? You know, what is even this subject?
I have had a lot of offers, and I've been very selective.
Yeah.
If I may add that as well. If I wanted to, like, you know, I could have done a film, 4 films, 4 years ago, if I was taking up everything that was coming my way, like even the good stuff. There was good stuff coming, but I think I was really particular about wanting to be presented in a certain manner, wanting to make my debut with the right makers, because that's everything, right? You don't want to do a film for the sake of doing one. Our film's been on for quite a while, so I knew it was in the works, and I didn't want to, you know, I wanted it to come out properly. I wanted it to, you know, kind of be my first here. That was important to me. But what is something weird that came my way?
Yeah,
A lot of
like a
stuff.
one-liner, maybe something.
No, I can't. It'll give it away, yeah. It'll give it away.
इसमें
It'll
मैं
give it
ढूंढ रहा था
away.
वायरल कंटेंट, कुछ नाम आएगा, 3-4
can't.
हेडलाइंस आएंगी, मालविका मोहन रिजेक्टेड दैट.
पर मजेदार बात ये है कि you're not putting on names or anything, maligning anyone.
बता देना जो
I
मुझे बोला
can't. No,
था.
I can't, because anything I say, no, it can be traced
The
back.
maker will be
But
like, अच्छा तुमको ये अच्छा नहीं लगा.
but there was this.
अच्छा, ऐसी कोई फिल्म है जिसमें जो तूने मना की और बहुत बड़ी ब्लॉकबस्टर हो गई?
हाँ, again.
You know, actually,
हाँ
no.
यार, हाँ यार.
No. No, which is a good thing. Which is
Yeah,
why
which is a
I haven't
great
gotten
thing.
FOMO about,
Yeah.
भाई बच
you
गया.
know.
भाई, मतलब आपने चूज किया, थैंक यू सो मच.
No, nothing. Which is
Yeah.
why I don't have that FOMO. Like, things have done decent, but not like, oh damn, I missed this. You know, that's
Yes.
never happened to me. But there was this, if I had to give it a little tidbit of something, there was this one superstar who was like very adamant about, you know, like working with me in one of his films. But the character just wasn't like something
Correct.
I saw myself doing. And, you know, he came with film number 1, film number 2, and, you know, it didn't connect with me, and the films didn't even end up doing well. So I'm glad that didn't happen.
So your
but
judgment is pretty
anybody
good.
else in my place would have like,
स्टार, सुपरस्टार और मेगा स्टार.
I'm not saying all of that. You're getting me into trouble.
Siddhant is helping me out.
You're
He's
getting
helping
me
me
into
out.
trouble.
Of course you are. Super, fantastic. And you know, another thing that a question for you, and something, you know, in terms of aspirational stuff for you. As I mentioned, you've done 10 films and you've worked with these, you know, absolute mega stars. You've had Rajni sir, you've had Mammootty sir, you've had Vijay sir, of course, you had Vikram sir now, right? It's crazy to think that in mere 10 films you've had these, you know, Mount Rushmore, you know, people from the South industry. So, a similar question for both of you. What would be a Mount Rushmore in terms of the Hindi belt that you want? कि अगले 10 फिल्म में अभी मेरे को इनके साथ कर लेना है. And for you as well, you know, that those actors that you want, that okay, I have to, do it, just to do some great films with them?
I really, I love Ranbir Kapoor as a performer.
Right.
I'm an RK fan. I'm a fangirl, but I love how much he gives every character, every film. You can see it, you know. And when you're an actor, you know exactly you know what's easy and what's not easy. So you know what that person's bringing to the table. I would love to work with him because of both reasons. Somebody else, a lot of the list is quite big, but he's on
he's
the
at
top.
the top
He's
of
at
it.
the top.
Siddhant, you?
Somebody I would love to work with, collaborate with.
Yeah, you would like to work with also, and वो होता है ना कि बस मेरा है कि I have these people. Just as an example I mentioned earlier, कि इस तरह से एक illustrious lineup हो गया अभी.
I also want to work with Fawad Khan.
Oh, we all want Fawad back.
He's so good.
He's so good.
He's so good. The more time you're taking, the more names are coming to my head.
That's what I
Jaldi
mean.
bol de yaar.
Any, just one name. You don't need to be giving me 3-4 names or whatever.
See, my bucket list is almost kind of, there.
हो गया, हाँ.
Check mark हो गया है, in terms of people. And I'm hosting IFA with Shah Rukh sir.
Yes.
So I would count it as working.
Of course, no,
Shah Rukh
I didn't
Khan.
mean to. Yeah, Shah Rukh Khan.
Shah Rukh
Who
Khan.
doesn't
How could I
want
forget
Shah Rukh
Shah Rukh Khan?
I think, see, one person who's not with us anymore, but every day I kind of wake up with that feeling, and I wish I would have shared a screen. But I want to work with this guy, Irfan
sir, of course.
That is something which I really, really wanted to do, and that's one thing which always will remain in my thing. Yeah.
Parallel note, I've sort of not asked this question in different ways to everyone. Everybody has, at least 80% of them have mentioned Irfan sir. I mean, no surprises why he was what he was. I mean, everybody misses him in the best way possible.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.